since we have last spoken, I have finished another book, and here is essentially my review of it. I recently finished Blankets by Craig Thompson. I had actually started this on the 30th of December, but then I realized that I wasn't going to finish it in 2014, so I was like, I'm going to put it down for a little bit, but then I picked it back up. And I finished it on the 12th. This is an autobiographical illustrated novel that was published in 2003. I'm gonna put this book down because it is heavy. First off, I want to start and say that I could have read this book in an hour, maybe like 2, but I decided to read this really slowly so I would be able to take in a lot of the illustrations and the storyline. I didn't want to fly through this because I felt like if I did, I wasn't going to get the full emotional experience of this or of the illustrations as well. And Craig Thompson's illustrations are absolutely beautiful, and I bookmarked a lot of things just because of the beautiful nature of the frame, or just kind of like the style he did in that certain page. Needless to say, it's a beautiful book. I actually didn't know anything about this book. I had actually heard about it from Dana over at the Book Hoarder a long time ago, but I didn't really know what it was about. All I knew was that it was an illustrated novel, and I kind of just went out and picked it up. I think what you're getting from this is a very interesting relay of events. It's essentially about this one point in time when Craig met a girl named Rhiannon, and it just kind of opens his eyes to how he wants to live life, and a lot of it is centralizing on his religion. The underlying religious tones are there for a purpose, and they're not out of left field to where you feel like he's being preachy. So that side of it I felt was done really well. He could have done it really poorly, but I think that he wrote it in the most interesting way possible, and it related to the story. He interwove it really well, and I just think that that side of the novel was done absolutely brilliantly, to where I didn't skim any of those parts. I didn't feel like I wanted to not know what he was saying at this point just because it was a Bible verse or it was a church sermon. Some parts of this book are really raw and emotional, and I totally appreciate that he decided to let all of himself out on the page. I think that me taking this book really slowly, I think I read one part at a time. Me doing that really allowed me to get really into the story, get really into what he was going through at this time, and I absolutely love this novel. Overall, I think the way Thompson told his story was very unique and interesting, and this is kind of the first memoir / graphic illustration novel that I've ever read, and I think it was done so beautifully, and I love that he really took the time to just like make this huge book. Like, he wasn't gonna skimp on anything. He wasn't gonna try and make this like super short. He just kind of went for it, and his illustration style, like I said before, is just really beautiful. I decided to take a page out of Sylvia's book, and I decided not to rate this book. I kind of looked at it in a way that I shouldn't judge this book because it was so well written and it was so beautifully done, that just because I didn't fully understand or get the underlying meanings of religion, that I shouldn't rate it, or I shouldn't knock down a star or like half a star for that. So I decided not to rate this book, but I do feel it's so beautiful and powerful in a lot of ways that I would totally reread this again, and I would totally just pick this book up just to look at some of the pages that I did mark. If you're looking for kind of a more serious graphic novel, or kind of like a memoir in general, you should definitely pick up Blankets. I feel that it is very unique, and I loved it so much. And There's also different covers for this. I got this one because I felt it was really beautiful, and just like even the outside illustration is just absolutely gorgeous. I loved the way this book was designed, and as a graphic designer, it is very important that a book looks physically beautiful for me to actually want to own it. Let me know in the comments if you've read Blankets or if you are planning on it. I would definitely love to hear your feelings on it and kind of go back and forth about how you decided to like pace yourself in the book and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in my next video.